gentlemen, thank you very much. I am what I am, and I'm going to be the very best of what I am. And for those who don't like me confidentially, I don't give a damn. I'd like to thank you for letting me be myself.
Why do you have to use all the gravity to sit down?
Facts. Why? You gonna
if I'm
break
sitting in my chair
shit
mixing
like
a record and my fucking piston starts.
I got that pen. Like, I gotta return my printer.
I'm making you call Assure and facilitate my replacement. Oh. See, and that's what he does too. He changes the subject.
Facts, so you can get off of that.
He takes advantage, and he knew how to do it. Especially me and you with our attention span. He just changed the subject.
Yeah.
And like, what was I yelling at this nigga for? He just walked away mad and aggravated because I
forgot the whole reason why. Whole reason why shit got heated.
I knew it was something else I wanted, and he made me forget.
Whenever y'all ready.
He rushing us again.
Oh, here we go.
Whenever y'all ready.
30-minute lifespan.
Okay,
all
he got a good point. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Warm the Crib podcast. Episode 7.
I'm Darien.
I'm Rahmonn.
This
I
nigga
can't
fucking
do the
up.
intro for shit. We're here at episode 7. I'm exposing my bros to some culture. Broke open a little red wine.
Facts.
And I was so proud of them for drinking the red wine instead of just the whiskey. And then these niggas asked me for an ice cube. But we'll get there.
Look, man, I like my shit cold. I don't care.
Reds you usually drink room temperature after you let the bottle breathe. I don't know. I'm not.
That's why they taste like piss. It's like
Listen, after the alcohol get in your system, it also
it don't even matter. Facts.
Nope. But welcome back. We're glad to be back, guys. How was your week, sir?
My week was good. Only thing was work was slow. It was just slow all week. So my
Was
week
it
just
annoying
dragged
slow or like?
Nah, I just dragged out. It just took forever to get to Friday. That's
Wow. How about you, sir? I didn't hear much from you this week. You were quiet.
Yeah, he's never quiet.
Surprisingly.
Oh yeah, working on his website. Facts, ZachariahFilms.com.
Go ahead.
Oh, you calling out for donations?
Yeah, hit my cash app.
Yeah, just I could check the link right here.
It's
Don't
not
worry
going.
about
It's
it.
not going to be there.
No, you know what? Shout out to Zach because last week there was something that was there when we said it. It was his name though.
That's facts.
Zachariah Films in the house. My week was pretty good. Can't complain.
I ain't even asked you that. My fault.
That's all right.
I was gonna get there.
We got notes this week, so I knew it was next. Shit. I finally pulled the trigger on the new Mac for the studio,
Mm-hmm.
and I was all excited. Got my coins together, and they were like, "No problem, Mr. McMillan. Your package will be arriving sometime in May." Like,
Damn.
what?
Sheesh.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be hot about that.
I mean, they don't take the money till they ship it, but you gotta
Right,
remember
but
to leave the
still.
money there.
Yeah. What are you?
But it's exciting.
So what are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for this week? I'm grateful for life. When you look at it and you think about where I was, 10, 15, 20 years ago, as compared to where I am today and my mindset and maturity. And I'm grateful for the journey.
Right.
I guess more so than life. Of course, I'm grateful to be alive, but I'm super grateful for the journey.
Right.
So
Mine's almost the same again, but I was gonna say I'm grateful for my existence.
okay.
Just the fact that I'm here and I'm able to enjoy the people that I enjoy and my family and all of that, and able to make my mark on the world is something
That's what's up.
awesome to me.
You know what's cool about this podcasting thing too, especially for all of our kids, right? Like my mother passed when I was younger, and she didn't journal or anything, so like I have no idea of thoughts. But like kids, grandkids,
They can look back at this.
they can look back and be like, "Oh, he was cool. He was a dick. He was weird."
Yeah,
Whatever they want, but they
facts.
still have answers. So
Facts.
that's kind of cool. What are you grateful for, Zach?
Starting early on my business, man. Started when I was in high school.
Okay. Zach is grateful for where he's come. So everybody's grateful for the journey this
Yeah.
week. That's pretty cool.
Pretty much.
Being a black man in America. Like one dude came to work, came to my job and they said, it's crazy. He said, not a lot of black men make it to 70 years old, He was a
To 70?
Yeah, 70.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a lot of us don't make it that far.
He's up in spirit though.
Facts.
That's cool. I said, yeah.
As you should be.
It's like that one meme. It's like, keep doing what you're doing. He said, I fuck with you.
Hey, keep spit shining that bitch. Keep that shit sucker free, nigga. Give a fuck.
Get what?
I love you, boy. And keep God in your life, fuck, nigga.
Do it.
Facts.
Dropped that in there, but they want to know about that.
So I know you watch anything new this week?
Nah.
You ain't check out them shits I told you about?
Nah.
See, that's why I didn't even put it on the agenda.
Next time. I got you next time. Yeah, remind me
I
though.
picked up another one of another scammer, bro.
Shit.
The bad.
You
Vegan.
got a thing for scammers, my nigga.
I do love true crime dramas.
Right.
Like I love that. We were watching before you guys got here. We were watching a true crime drama about a serial killer.
Yeah.
But that one was. I won't even tell you till you watch the other ones. I've been watching Breaking Bad all over again, and now it's gonna be.
That is true, and it's crazy. I never finished that joint, but I just stopped in the middle. That's my problem with shows. I stop like dead in the middle, and then all it takes is for my wife to watch one episode without me, and then I don't care about it no more.
I'm watching it for the fourth time.
Sheesh.
Fourth or fifth time, I can't remember. I don't know. I'm fascinated by Walt's character and like seeing his transform. And even this time, I feel like I got something out of it that I didn't even. I feel like the switch of when he went from trying to save his family to it was about his ego.
Right.
I don't want to say too much more since we finished. So
I got you.
Right along.
I got you.
You watching Bel Air at all?
Bel Air, nah.
I was dead set against a remake of it. It's pretty fucking good.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
They said it's a drama now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's neat. Like, I feel like, the original show was mostly comedic, but then you had those dramatic moments. And TV was a lot different of what issues you could discuss and not discuss on TV. And I feel like they've just brought more of those out, the original characters. So the characters have the same name and they're fitting the same person as the original family, but they're their own character.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to explain. It's not just like a corny copycat remake. It's like the kid reminds me of Will, but he's not Will Smith's Will. If that makes sense. It's
I get
really
what you're
good
saying.
show.
Right.
We had a watch party with Miss Pam a couple weeks ago. Me and
Yeah,
Susan
shit.
went to watch it with her.
Right.
And she worked late this week and we couldn't come, and Miss Pam was like so disappointed. But yeah, it's been good. And she watched it. She said, I'm gonna watch it from the beginning till the current episode.
Yeah.
Until the new episode comes out again.
No shit. Right.
If you get a chance, check it out.
Yeah. Facts.
Let's see what we talking about this week. Friendships with men.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like, I read some articles and I have my own opinions and experiences. But if you would have asked me before I was reading some of this research, let me ask you before I even say it. Who do you think has better friendships, men or women?
I'm gonna say men.
Okay.
Because when we actually do find actual friendships, a lot of times they're genuine. But and like women, a lot of times they have like envious stuff about each other and they talk behind each other's back and all of that. A lot of times with men, you don't get that. But I still feel like it's harder for men like to connect with each other without actually like being around each other type of deal.
Okay. I would have agreed with you. And that was my thought going in. Because, and again, it could be picking poor women to be around.
Yeah.
But just watching women that I've dated or like my sister or just how their friendships worked, and it would always seem odd and strange to me. Like, how are you guys really friends?
But a lot of times women's friendships last way longer than men's friendships do.
Right. And so I think it was something like 90% to 85% of women have better relationships than men do.
Facts.
So it's not hugely far apart, but I still thought it would have went the other way and with a much bigger gap.
Yeah.
And they say the biggest difference between us, so like as men, they refer to it as side-to-side relationships. And they say when you watch the activities men do together, we watch sports, you're sitting on the couch side by side, or we go fishing, or we always do an activity. Where women have more face-to-face relationships. They'll sit down and go to a coffee house.
Yeah.
And sit down and talk about feelings and shit,
each other, yeah.
right? And I was like, wow. Because when you think about it, do you have a best friend?
Yeah. Yeah, it's only one person I can consider my best friend.
Okay.
So yeah.
Would you tell them anything about you?
Yeah.
Like no matter, no holding back.
Yeah.
So like if you couldn't get an erection for a week, would you tell your best friend? See,
No. Hold on. Yeah, that's where we draw the line. Goddamn it!
right. But that's what the article was saying, is that men have more surface relationships,
Yeah,
and we don't connect,
yeah,
like as deeply as a woman would.
that is true.
And I thought of the question because it happened to me once. I was 27. I'll never forget it.
Mm.
It was like, why the fuck? And see, I'm telling the whole world. The whole world's my best friend. Like, yo, what the fuck is that shit? Like, I wanted some, but he didn't want some. And the only person I could talk to at the time about it was my father. Like, I wouldn't dare go to none of my friends and tell them that for the fear of being clowned. But I feel like you have to have some safety and vulnerability. And that's where the big, big, big difference comes in. Because we're not as willing to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, like, do you feel the same way?
Yeah, like me personally, I feel like, do you think that it's because of like men are more childish than women at times? So a lot of times men will judge you for what you're actually trying to open up about than just be by your side and let you know, like, all right, it's gonna be all right. This is what you should do, blah, 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 like a woman would do with another woman.
One of the articles is like Psychology Today or some shit, and they were talking about how, like, when we're boys, you know, there's no precursor factors in our head. You meet somebody you fuck with, and you just fuck with them.
Yeah.
And then as you start getting older, and you start getting roped into, and somebody angry must have wrote the one article because they kept using toxic masculinity.
Something happened to them.
But what they were saying was toxic about the masculinities, because we're felt that we have to live into this role of what a man is. There's certain things you won't discuss, right? Mm-hmm. So like if you tell a joke, we joke with each other all the time, right? Yeah. But it hurts my feelings. Yeah. I won't be like, Darien, you know, you told that joke and you talked about my one flat foot with the extended toe angle, and it really was. Just started crying about it. Like I was really upset. Like, because you were afraid that your friends are gonna clown you. Yeah. So like, there's only so much,
and it's fucked up because you was just saying that, and I was just scared to clown you, and
right,
and
not all of that was true about my foot.
Yeah, but had to let it be known. I'm just flat footed. The rest of that shit ain't true.
Yeah, but like, you should be comfortable. It was like,
to
I never
yourself.
thought about it, because like, it's funny. Like if you cheat, you'll probably tell your best friend that you cheated. But if something serious happened to you that involved you being emotional, you probably wouldn't tell them. Yeah. You might have. Do you have a female best friend?
No.
Are you not allowed to?
No. We made a choice a long time ago that neither of us is going to have a friend of the opposite sex.
Okay.
We don't have a problem with it. We don't trust people.
But what if you had one beforehand? I don't want to turn it to another issue, but
yeah.
What if you had one beforehand? Like, if you had, before y'all made that decision, that covenant together, would you have just cut that female best friend off?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
As a respect factor, yeah.
Okay.
Because I already know, like, one, a lot of niggas that got female best friends is fucking their female best friend. That's for one.
Okay.
A lot of them. Not everyone, but a lot of them. And I don't want her to ever have to have that doubt in her mind, like, oh, are you fucking with her because every time you go out, it's you and her at times. Like, I know that shit would probably drive her the fuck crazy. Right. So that's something I would never go to that extent of.
See, I do. Shout out to Trisha if you're listening. And it's interesting, right? So the end of my third marriage really probably broke me up. I don't know if it was more than any other ones, but I think I was mature enough to understand my feelings and understand what was behind those feelings. So I cried for 45 fucking days. Like, I kept a record of it because it was probably the longest I ever cried in 20 years. I hadn't cried in like 20 years, and here I am crying for 45 days. Sheesh. And, you know, I called my boys and I told them about it, but when I reflected on the conversation, it was like, you know, I talked about the things that I was angrier about or upset about and talked about the details. And when I thought back to it, I used to joke, Trisha now lives in California. So with the time difference, I would talk to my friend Shay, who I've known since high school, in the morning. And the joke was, she had the morning shift and Trisha had the night shift.
Right.
And with them, I was more vulnerable about being hurt in my feelings. And I'm not saying that I couldn't have been that way with my male friends, but it just felt more comforting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And almost to like, I don't know, kind of like how you might express yourself to your mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could just be you. She knows who you are. And so I always wondered, like, do you think you could get to that level with a male friend?
I feel like you can, but I feel like y'all have to basically be on the same page with it. Because if your male friend doesn't look at you as that close of a friend, they're not gonna accept the fact that you're opening up to them. Basically, a lot of men don't even know how to help a man when he's fucking feeling down. Like they don't know. Like a lot of people don't understand how to give words of encouragement. Because a lot of time when a man is down, that's literally all he needs, and he'll bounce right back.
Yeah.
Like
It's funny you said that because an episode of Breaking Bad I just watched, Walt's the main character and his brother-in-law is a DA agent. And he was trying to sneak something in the office and he knew this about his brother-in-law. So he starts crying about him and his wife's relationship. And Hank immediately got nervous and all he could do was like, you want me to get you a cup of coffee or something?
yeah.
Because he was, even me, like if a woman starts crying when they're talking to me, I'm kind of uncomfortable, but you feel okay to like maybe put your head on their shoulder or give them an encouraging hug. And why couldn't you do that for your bro?
Yeah.
And we're so conditioned to that's how we live with our friendships with most of our guy friends are all based on, experiences and doing things versus women whose a lot of their friendships are based on sharing and being able to vent. And like, I should be able to call you or call Zach and be like, yo, let me tell you this bullshit that happened today and just not try and share my experience while trying to put a filter on what I'm saying to you, right? Because then how
You should be able to be yourself.
how much am I getting to let off? And then they were talking about like the health concerns. So we all know women typically live longer than us. And
we do dumb shit. That's we do dumb shit. Today I seen a video of a nigga riding a big ass engine. Why is he's on top of the engine like it's a damn bull? This nigga gonna die. Like why? What? But we just do dumb shit. And that's why we die sooner. But
they were saying when you don't have that emotional connection with anybody. So let's go back. Let's say that's in that moment of time, right? I didn't feel like I could be sappy and cry on the phone with my male friends, but I could with my female friends. And let's say I didn't have that, like the detriment, the anxiety, the depression that leads to. So again, all of us walk around, well, not all of us, most of us walk around like that. And I think, well, what do you think? Like, do you think would you not hang out with a person, like you might enjoy their company one-on-one, and you wouldn't hang out with them because of you are worried what somebody else might say if they saw you hanging out with them?
Nah, I've never been that. Like if I fucks with you, I fucks with you. I don't care about none of that other shit. But if you got some shit going on, let me know so I can be prepared if something gonna pop off while we out.
If you met a gay dude at work, let's say you met a gay dude at work, right? And y'all funny, had a good time, laughed, you started confiding with each other, and he's like, yo, let's go hang out. Would you go hang out with him?
No. I
See,
wouldn't.
why not?
And it's not a specific reason. I just know me. I ain't gonna hang out with no fucking body. Like that's basically, ain't got nothing to do with that. I just know me. I ain't gonna hang out with no fucking body. Like that's part of my fucking problem. Motherfucker, I'll be like, you know what? Nah, I'm cool. I don't want to chill with you. But and that's how I've always been. Like at work, at every job that I've ever had, there's always been people that basically love me because of my personality.
Well, you're right.
But I know. But outside of work, I never really go anywhere with anybody because I never really cared to. Like, I just go back to the family. That's literally what it was. And it's probably because I don't, like always, I don't know how, personally, I don't know how to build friendships because I had a lot of friendships that were not the best. Let's just say that.
Okay.
A lot of friendships that I got used up in and stuff like that. And that's what basically shut me off and I just stopped fucking with people.
And they say that happens to us a lot too. Real quick, I'm going to dive into that in a second. But that happened to me. This girl I was talking to, her friend was this gay guy. And he was the coolest fucking dude. Like we would sit at her table and me and him would talk hours after me and her hung out. And one time he's like, oh, you want to go to the bar sometime? I'm young. Back then, no. What if we go out and somebody thinks I'm gay? And
Yeah.
that, you know, I could have maybe ruined a lifelong relationship because I was so closed-minded back then.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas today it wouldn't matter. Years later, I had this manager that used to work with me, and he would tell me about dudes he was dating. And at first it was a little uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
but I looked past. I just looked past it. It was he still is a cool fucking dude. He moved to Florida, unfortunately, so he couldn't maintain that relationship. But I love fucking talking to this dude, you know, and
them motherfuckers is wild and they don't give a fuck what they say.
and that's
a good thing.
That's comforting. I love people
because they're gonna be 100% honest. Yeah,
themselves.
Facts.
So then, why can't we be? So let me ask you this question. This was another interesting part. So they said the way you respond, and you was like, you had a bad experience, people fucked you over, you enjoy your family anyway, so why not just go home and stay with your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So shit happens, right? Shit happens in all our lives. Your only outlet is Tunisia.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying that what happens is our partners become our therapists when we don't open up and share with other men.
Mm-hmm.
And it ends up being taxing on them.
Mm-hmm.
You ever thought about that?
I never thought about that.
Like, you're taking so much from her. I'm not saying you would real life, but you're taking so much from her that she's not even fully enjoying life because you have no other outlet.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody else that you go and talk to on that deep level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
And then even when I think back to like me and Trish, I could talk to Trisha about anything. And if somebody was going to write a tell-all book, Trisha is the one that you guys should go to because she probably has the most information because I trust her with. I can't think of anything I wouldn't tell her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at times, she may not be able to give me a perspective that a guy could be, not being a guy. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So why shouldn't you have that relationship with other people? And I think for me, you try. I think with most of my friends, I'm pretty open. I don't really embarrass easily about many things, at least now. Definitely not my early 20s. But there's still stuff I'm going to hold back.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, you're going to get the clown session, you're going to get the jokes, and sometimes maybe you don't want the jokes right then and there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then again, you got to speak up. Because you got to be like, all right.
That is true. But a lot of us don't know when to fucking cut that shit off. I ain't going to lie. Like, a lot of times we can't tell if, like, you really in an emotional state or because we not looking at it as that. We just looking at it as the bro, basically. But and not thinking about this nigga really got feelings. This nigga really got emotions and shit. So that actually does make sense, though.
And more importantly, it's okay to have feelings as a man. It's okay to have emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we rob ourselves of it. Because I think you could be masculine. I know some really masculine, manly definition of dude, you know, hard hat, hammer, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're emotional dudes and they can express how they feel about shit and cry with the best of them. And that should be the example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not this. And in one article, the person kept saying if you can't share your feelings, they were saying that they did this study and most men who couldn't share their feelings with other men had a high tendency of homophobia. And I was just like, all right, I'm gonna start reading this article because I feel like it has an agenda, and that's why I moved on to another one. So, but maybe I was back then. What did I say? I wouldn't hang out with this kid because I was afraid somebody was gonna think I was gay.
Yeah.
Whereas now, if I hang out with a gay, my best friend's a gay guy, and I hang out with and they think I'm gay, that's their business. Their opinion is none of my fucking business.
Motherfuckers always gonna have an opinion.
Right. So you might as well.
What they say? Opinions are like assholes. Everyone have one. Yeah, that's a fact. If you ain't got no asshole, you shit on your back. it's like nah.
So how do you make friends? So you want a bro that you can share some emotions with.
Mm-hmm.
How would you go about it? Because again, it's different for us. I can't just be like, "Hey, bro,
yeah."
Like, imagine before we really knew each other. And I'm like, "Yo, D, after work, I get off early today too. You want to go to Starbucks and just talk?"
Yeah,
I
did. Yeah. Nigga, like, huh? The fuck you want to go to Starbucks for?
Right. But girls could go out and just sit down and go to have coffee or tea together.
That is true.
Or like I'm saying, hey, you want to go out and get some ice cream? Like,
yeah. Nah, see, it's the things you asking about. You said ice cream, nigga. I'm not getting no ice cream with you, nigga.
Why not, though?
I get a beer with you or some shit, nigga. I'm not getting no ice cream, nigga. Nigga. The fuck?
My best friend used to say, Sem used to say all the time, "You can't be mad while you're eating ice cream." So maybe something's bothering me, and I want to get some ice cream. But then when I'm done, I want to share.
Just imagine a nigga sitting there mad as shit, eating ice cream. Like, what the fuck?
Or worse, imagine it's a cone.
Oh no!
Show us how you eat an ice cream cone.
Nah, nope, I'm cool. I eat them shits while I'm alone. I don't care. Fuck that. I don't publicly. That's just like hot dogs. You can't publicly eat a hot dog anymore. Niggas is sad.
Stupid.
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Like,
so
nigga,
all jokes aside, I won't ask you to go out and have ice cream with me. Yeah. Because I like rainbow sprinkles. And I don't want to make you uncomfortable and shit. But so how like some of the things I saw, like one of the articles was written by this group of men, and they have weekly Zoom meetings to talk with other men and just share common interest and talk. And I'm like, that sounds fucking dope.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, as you get older, it seems like it's harder to build a deep connection with another bro.
Yeah.
Than when you were younger. Like,
but do you think that has a lot to do with like the stereotype of everybody having to be so manly and all that shit? Why we won't even open up because we have to be men and have to bottle everything up. But in reality, you need to talk to another man, talk to your bro about what's going on. Because in reality, like you said, you're not going to always get what you need from when you're talking to a female. Like, you just need to conversate with a man at times.
It's kind of the same concept where I say children need both their parents because you want to get, and it's funny, I'm listening to myself and thinking about people who might have different alternative families, but I still think you need the perspective, whether it's your parent or not, of somebody who is the same gender.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because as a man, let's say your body's changing. Your son could ask your wife, and your wife's super educated, and she could answer him.
Facts.
But she can't answer him from an experience standpoint.
Only knowledge
standpoint. So I think that's important. And similarly with your bros, if I'm going through something, like all humans, I want to know if somebody else went through something before, right? Mm-hmm. So at the time, the only person I go to was my pops. He was an example I had earlier. Like, yo, you ever tried to fucking couldn't? But again, because I didn't feel coveted and comfortable enough to go to any of my bros at the time and ask that question.
Yeah.
You all right, Zach? Oh, he's pacing. You was getting me nervous over there.
Facts.
You was getting me nervous. Like, I don't know how to tell these guys that I didn't record shit. I got to hit record. So I'm gonna try that out. And there's opportunities to like meet other people in your thing. And then they had to have a Facebook group where you can join the group and you had to answer questions of why you wanted to be in the group. So I was like, you know what? I've never done anything like this before. Fuck it. I guess it's like Tinder for friendships. I don't know.
Mender.
Mender. And then I guess you could, again, shared activities, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's go bowling.
Yeah.
Because bowling, I think, is good. It's kind of like on a date night. Bowling and mini golf are good because there's breaks and intervals where you could talk.
Can't call it a date night, though.
I wouldn't call it a date night.
But I get what you're saying. Though.
Play date.
Nah. Even he shook his head no. He said nah. But nah,
fraternities, like if you're in a fraternity or some type of membership or group, I think because you're sharing shared interest. I don't know what else. What else was on the list? How was it? Work tip, definitely.
That's how a majority of my friendships came from. Work. I have only one that came I was about to say one that came from school. But that's basically my best friend. I went to school with him like years ago.
And that's Art. Which Art, you still owe us a fucking video.
Facts.
People want
we need
answers.
That video. We need that video.
But Art, I've known since I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And me and Art pretty much tell each other anything. And it's funny, we won't talk for weeks. And this last period, my fault with moving and everything, was a couple of months that going by.
Mm-hmm.
But then we pick up like we've been talking every day. And I think that's the difference too as we get older. Like women friends tend to talk to each other every day, whereas we don't.
We don't, but when we do, it's like we didn't stop talking to each other.
Yeah. I can't find one note. You have a best friend, Zach?
His best friend is his camera.
He was like, when I stare in the mirror.
He said, when I stare in the mirror.
Look in the mirror, sometimes I stare at the wall. Huh?
He said what? I'm pretty sure everybody had a best friend.
Damn, that sounded sad.
I
You
got-
said at one point like
I had-
Because like I said, I was doing this. So when I'm outpacing somebody, so I'm like,
You know
I
what?
want him to do better, but I'm just doing too much better, and he's not on my same.
You reminded me of a point I wanted to make. Like, what happens when you have those bros and you're trying to elevate your life and do differently?
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of times you see it with people when they have families, right? Like, I was one of the first in my circle then to have a family. So you're doing different things, you know what I mean? You're not
Mhm.
always available to hang out the same way.
Yeah.
But like he said, that was a great point. Thank you. Because that was one of the points that was in the first set of notes that I accidentally deleted. Like, what happens when you start outgrowing that group of people? So you're with a group of people, you hung out in high school, y'all did all this dumb shit together, whatever. And now you're trying to elevate your life. Maybe you're trying to get into your real estate. You're like, I'm trying to launch my carpentry brand. I'm trying to launch this podcast thing. And you're having these conversations with people and they're still talking about the same dumb shit they talked about in high school.
Yeah. I'm always gonna say this. In my opinion, if you're trying to elevate yourself and the people around you aren't trying to elevate themselves, you gotta leave that circle.
It's hard.
It's hard to, though,
because like Zach said, if I love you as a brother and I call you a brother, I want to see you. I want to see you elevate and grow with me.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see.
That
I want to
is
get
true.
big, and I want you to get big.
And like
with
that's
me.
how I am. Like I always told you, I hate people, but that's not 100% accurate.
Right.
I hate people because they don't love themselves. They don't want to do better for themselves. So that's something that like bothers me. And that's literally always my thing that I've always wanted to do. I want to see somebody do better. But if you're not going to try and do better when I'm trying to do better and I'm trying to help you do better and telling you stuff you should do and you don't take none of my advice, I got to leave you behind, bro. It's hard. Like,
It's hard to cut
I
that
love you to
switch off.
death, but I got to leave you behind, bro. Like, I'm not going to let nobody stop my rise. Like, I can't. You'll get stagnant and be back into the same dumb shit. And
because it pulls you back down. I've
yep,
been there a couple
pulls you
times.
back
and
into
I'm
that
like,
opposite direction.
Like, what happened to all that progress I was making? And when you kind of really look and examine it, some of it's you, right? 'Cause,
Mhm.
you know,
Oh,
you
yeah.
make the choices and decisions.
You got the final decision on what you do. So,
But
yeah.
I've noticed when they say you look at the 5 people in your circle and see where they are, and that's where you're pretty much going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, I was saying this to somebody at work the other day. I think I understand why I get frustrated at work because there's not a lot of people for me to learn from. Like, and even that, my friendships and relationships in general, I like to be able to gather information from people. I like to learn. I don't like being the smartest person in the room. It's not cool. It's not fun.
You
to
ain't
me.
that smart.
I know.
It's like, nah, fucking with
So
you.
that's really
I'm
that's a
fucking
really
with you.
but that's a really bad
Well, nah,
fucking
that's-
room if I'm the smartest person in the room. And so like if I like learning from people, and my previous boss I used to say he was a fucking android because he just has this superpower to absorb information, and his real superpower is he could read about something that he gives 2 shits about and still comprehend the information. I struggle with when I don't give a shit about it.
It's hard.
It's
to
really hard for me to
pay attention
comprehend the
to that shit.
information.
Yeah.
He can just do the shit regardless of the information.
Sheesh.
So every day I would talk to this man. I learned there was a day did not go by that I didn't learn something valuable while talking to Eric. Like every
Right.
single fucking time.
Right.
And so I miss that sometimes.
I hear that.
And
No,
that's what I
real
want in the
shit.
circle of friendship though too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want us to have shared experiences, right? Because if we're gonna do stuff together, we should enjoy some of the same things. But I want to try some shit that you like that I've never done or maybe didn't want to do before, but let me try it. Like if you said I said I was gonna go to a NASCAR race once.
Mm-hmm.
Until that first year I worked in that parking lot where NASCAR is in Dover, and I saw the people walking around, and I kind of got over it.
Yeah, facts.
I was open-minded to the idea. I was like, let me try it once because you know I want experiences. So.
Yeah, facts. It's all about the experience. And that's another thing, like, I guess that's probably why we always have an activity when guys get together, because you want to create that experience and that memory when you do link with
Right.
somebody. Like, I don't want to, like, if I consider you my friend and all of that, I want whatever we do to be something memorable.
Right.
Like, I want us to remember the shit that we've done. Because if I don't remember it, like, in a year, I ain't gonna give a fuck about you. Like, it's sad to say,
Make
but
sure mental note. Make sure I keep these conversations interesting. Fuck. You done told me. Let's see.
And I think that's part of my attention span. I lose interest in shit a lot.
And for me, it's probably not the attention span so much, but we always talk about how I like new and shiny things. That's my problem
Yeah.
sometimes. So just give me new and shiny information. Let's see what we miss. It says be ready to be. It says so. No, yeah. How to create successful male relationships. Be ready to be open, encourage and listen, do fun things together, which we said, and remain proactive in keeping the friendship. That's probably one you probably suck at.
Yeah, I'm horrible. I'm sorry, everybody, because I know a lot of people hit me at times and all of that, and I be ignoring some of you motherfuckers. I ain't gonna lie, but I do. That is something I do suck at. I do suck at trying to maintain relationships, and I feel like that goes back to when I was screwed over. I just gave up on a lot of friendships. I gave up on trying to have somebody that's actually like my bro and that I always talk to and all that shit. So I basically, but I feel like having this subject this week actually kind of helped me. So that's going to try to open myself up again. Pause. That's not.
But think about it. Think about it. Have you ever dated a girl who had a shitty boyfriend right before you? And so if you even blink like that motherfucker did, you have to live her trauma as if you're that person.
Yeah.
So in the same token, there may be some great bromances out there for you that you're kind of cutting off because of the past. I mean, we all do it, right?
Nah, yeah.
Men have a more developed, I always say this word wrong. Amygdala? I think that's
Okay.
it's a part of the brain.
I wasn't going to say that.
The nature of that part of the brain from instinct, right? If you walked in the forest and you saw a snake and it bit you once, that part of the brain reminds you. So the next time you see the same circumstances, you can react quicker.
That means don't go to the fucking forest. That's what that means. Nigga,
Right.
the fuck?
So because ours are so more developed,
Yeah.
I think that's why we react to shit like that. Like, oh, I got screwed over. I'm not really trying to reach out and meet nobody new. Fuck
Yeah.
that. And it's stupid. Like
Yeah.
a lot of shit we do and a lot of ways we think.
Nah, because I
especially
know
when we're
it's a lot of genuine motherfuckers, genuine niggas. Oh yeah, like Godwin, shout out Godwin. He shared the video, the last one. He shared the
Okay.
last episode.
Appreciate you.
But that was one of my good friends, but I don't really talk to him that much because we both work all the time and take care of our kids. But
I saw this thing once. It says if you have trouble reaching out, and some people say, "Oh, it's not genuine," but I think it is. Like anything, it develops habit, right? Set a schedule. So let's say every Thursday,
I need a life schedule, nigga. I've been trying to set a schedule for the last 3 weeks and I ain't set that shit
bro.
yet.
I love fucking schedules. We could after this fucking episode, I can sit down and show you how I kind of organize my day to get shit done. But they were saying like, let's say Thursdays, there's some time maybe your wife works later, the kids are out in activities, so you got a little bit extra time. Like my time used to be when I had the longer commute. That was my time to say, oh, let me reach out to this person and see how they're doing, right? Because we're all busy. We're all doing shit. We're all doing a lot of shit. Well, most of us are doing a lot of shit. And it's easy to forget those people, but sometimes you never know if they need that or not. Just like when I hear from somebody I haven't heard from in a while, it's a good feeling. Like, oh, wow, they were thinking of me. And it feels good.
Yeah.
So I get joy in trying to do that for other people. But sometimes you get frustrated when you're the person. So I'm telling you this for the people that may reach out to you often first all the time. It gets frustrating after a while. And it may be a really good relationship there that, you're not making them pissed off, but they're just going to stop trying. Right? Yeah. Because any of us, after a certain time, you keep trying something.
I stopped trying everything, motherfucker.
and you get it. And I value all my friendships, but I think we need to make an effort to make more of an emotional connection.
Facts.
We need to have more bro dates at the Starbucks or even the beer though.
I'm not going to Starbucks.
But instead of sitting at the bar, you should sit at the table and have a conversation.
Sit at the table. Yeah. Nah, yeah. I don't want to sit at the bar.
Like a Cheers, not like a club like bar.
Yeah, Cheers, nigga. You talking about a TV show?
Yeah.
Nigga, this nigga. Oh, I'm tired of this shit.
Listen, Cheers is one of the greatest sitcoms ever on TV.
Nah, yeah, that shit was alright.
But it was like a bar, and they had like a family and a camaraderie there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was referenced. I want to find me like a Cheers like bar.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you gotta find. I feel like you gotta find like that group of friends, that solid group of friends. I feel like every man needs a solid group of friends, and once you have that,
that's why I'm really gonna try and fuck with this men's group thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find the time. I'm gonna join one of the seminars. See how it's a
gotta
Zoom call.
create our own men's group. I don't like random niggas. It's like
gotta start somewhere.
we all bring a friend, and then that's how it starts.
All right, let's see. Our question for the audience this week. So I have two. For men, do you feel you have a true best friend that you could be vulnerable with? So comment below the video or below the post or whatever. And then for women, have you found it to be taxing when you're with a man that doesn't have any close male friends? I'm really interested to know that.
Yeah.
Because I'm really interested to know that. Because I never thought about that before.
I never thought about that part either.
I've been the guy that the girl doesn't have really girlfriends. And I've said to her once, I don't know, this feels like a girlfriend's kind of conversation. But so I can understand maybe for a woman how it might be taxing if we're always there. Yeah. If they're always our go-to, yeah. Versus us having another outlet. So
yeah.
What's your final thoughts, sir?
Final thoughts. Open up, unlike me. Nah, but real shit. Final thoughts, stay true to yourself. Do the best you can and try to open up.
Okay.
Try to be a friend to somebody. Everybody needs a friend. Facts.
My final thought is to you, like,
it's to them. Don't say it to me.
No, but specifically to you today. Like, you gotta learn to let go and move forward.
Yeah.
I'll tell you an exercise real quick. I did once. There are people when I left AT&T that I could swear I hated, and I would think about them all the time. They have rent-free fucking space in my head, and I couldn't forget about it because I felt so passionately about the reason that I disliked them. I don't think I hated them because I don't think I loved them, right? But strongly disliked. And one day I sat down and I said, I'm gonna write down 5 things about each one of these people that I learned. And 5 real things, not 5 things like Johnny's a jackass or how not to be a jackass.
Johnny
like
the jackass.
How not to be a jackass like Johnny, but literally something that I learned from Johnny. And it helped because I don't think of those people anymore. The simplest fucking thing.
Just so you know, none of these niggas is free in my head. So nah, but it might help. It might help. It's being though that there's one situation that is still in my head. So yeah, you right. I had to think about that shit. You right.
Try it. All I always say, try something once.
You know I'm hard headed, nigga. You lucky, nigga. Nigga, you know I'm stubborn like a motherfucker, but you right. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, but if anybody, I encourage you the same exercise. I have to remind myself and do it for different people that have been new that have filled that space up. But hope you enjoy watching this, or if you're listening to this, you can also watch it on YouTube. And if you're watching it on YouTube, you can also listen to it on your major podcast streaming
Long
episodes.
story short, just do both.
Fuck it, do both. And where can they answer our question of the week and just interact with us in general?
At Warm the Crib across all platforms. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. At Warm the Crib. Yeah, it's right here.
All right. Thank you guys. Love talking to you. We talk to you next week. Peace.